I wonder how much of our early conversation got picked up. Because that's just kind of how it happens. And hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm the Athletic Geek, and we have a special edition this week. Joining me on this edition is EZ of the Elite Era Network. Jedi had some family stuff to take care of again this week. Everything's fine, just gotta take care of some family, which is all good. So tagging in to take his spot is Easy, and
As
thanks.
always.
Yep, he's like the fifth Beatle, the
What's
third,
up, everybody?
the third Mark, if you will, baby.
I love how I think I've been probably on your show more times than I've done episodes on my show.
Possibly.
But we all have commitments. I'm trying to make mine. You're trying to make yours.
Yeah, I'm trying to. You're gonna hear a lot of reverbs. Making sure you're coming in.
You're okay.
So basically, you're listening to me. Listen to this. It's wacky. Crack open an alcoholic beverage.
Or some juice if you like to be straight edge.
Yep. Oh. All right, we're here. We're good. So we're gonna start with Raw. And well, first of all, if you've never seen I gotta do my shilling here. If you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Normally, Jedi's sitting next to me, but I can't say with Easy we've been watching wrestling together for over 15 years. But we have been watching wrestling together. We love wrestling. We met because we love our sharing professional wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we're fans, just like all of you. Our opinions don't carry any more weight than yours. We avoid insider terms because at the end of the day, we're not insiders, we're not wrestlers. We are simply just two marks. And And oh. Wow, it's getting big on the High Spots auction, which I'm also keeping an eye on because I want to win some. Luke Gallows is there.
Nice.
And so is Fat Ass Massa. But let's get to Raw. Let's talk about something depressing. The most depressing thing ever.
The whole show.
Yeah, especially the women's champion.
Okay, now, normally, as you already know, I'm like the biggest Sasha Banks fan because we share the same birthday and she's just awesome. But
well, half of that statement's true.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. How do you, unless I missed something on like the past month or so that I haven't watched Raw in a while, but how do you win in count out and you win the belt? I'm like, hang on, isn't championship matches pin or submission? That's it, not count out or disqualification. And it's like, I'm so lost. Like, I get it. Asuka went to go help Kairi, and she lost by count out. But it's like, that doesn't mean Banks wins the title, does it? That part confuses me.
Yeah, it does me too. And it's all confusing as hell. And
I'm sorry, if you want to have two superstars, obviously one can act as a great heel because Banks is awesome.
A what? We don't use those terms.
Okay.
Sorry. Villainous.
Banks is a great villain.
Yep.
Of her own club. Bayley's
getting there.
Still getting there.
She's like I thought Bayley was impossible, but now I'm beginning to learn that it's not impossible for Bayley. She's doing a damn good job.
But if WWE is trying to slap on all the women's championship titles on two mean girls that can just act bratty, then where the hell are the Iconics?
Well,
come on.
Well, because even though I like to give Sasha shit because I think she's overrated, I think in the ring she's more worthy of a world title for the women's division than both Billie Kay or Peyton Royce.
I've been on the main roster for 2 years now.
Okay.
Banks and Bailey have been on there for literally like maybe 5 years, actually, maybe more.
Okay.
I don't know, roughly around there, but yeah.
Well, I mean, but why? Like, I guess what I'm asking is, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, I'm not really a
I
big
don't know.
Sasha Banks fan, but
You
they're
versus,
still better than both of them in singles competition. Now, as far as tag team champions, Iconics all the way.
yeah.
But as both of them as individual women's champions, no, I don't think they're ready for that yet.
I don't know. I missed when it was the brand expansion where you actually had one person staying on SmackDown, one person staying on Raw. That's it.
Yeah, I
Now
agree.
two doing their own thing.
I agree with that, but you know,
Given the circumstances right now,
well,
I get it.
no, what should just be happening is it should still just be fucking Asuka,
Should still be what?
just fucking Asuka as champion. That should just be the case.
Honestly, they could have set up Banks and maybe they might, but they could have like Banks and Asuka at SummerSlam.
I can see them doing that. I'm gonna check here on the.
You know, all right, that was my rant, and then I'm now just looking at their YouTube. Okay, there's a thing with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Okay, you know what? I'm down for that. Like,
I'm not a big Randy Orton fan. As long as Orton doesn't win, it's okay. It's a good stopgap for Drew.
wait, isn't it if Randy wins, he becomes a 15-time champion?
14.
14. Is it 14? Let me see. I thought he was already a 14-time
I
champ.
thought it was 13. That's still entirely too many, but that's besides the point.
John Cena's got 16. What more do you want to complain about?
That's too many for John Cena.
11, 12, 13. No, he is going to be a 14-time champ. Because he was a 9-time WWE champion and a 4-time World Heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Randy Orton fan, but I'll give credit where credit's due. He did live up to expectations against Edge, like in the greatest wrestling match of all time. I mean, as much as we mocked it,
There's some just.
it was a good match.
WrestleMania supposed to be the end of the rivalry?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying they had a really damn fine match. I don't like Randy Orton. I call him Randy Borton, but I'm not a complete hater to the point to where I won't give him credit where credit's due in that sense.
But he's from your town.
Okay.
I don't know.
And again, I wait for a point.
Actually, funny. When I was
See, we're not like
today.
Canada, where we think just because somebody who's average is from our area that they're great. That's not the case.
Actually, funny. I ran into someone who was actually wearing an Edge shirt at work. That was awesome.
Well, I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I was just saying that. But anyways, Orton, McIntyre, that'll get me to go watch SummerSlam. Sure.
I mean, I'll watch SummerSlam because like I need stuff to do. One can only watch so much NASCAR. You know.
Ever since they introduced stage racing, I haven't watched NASCAR unless it's Daytona, and maybe if they're in Bristol or Talladega.
I've been watching it because I've just gotta get a shout out to Slap Shoes for getting me back into it.
I love Slap Shoes. Wait, you're friends with him?
No, I'm just giving him a shout out in case he somehow stumbles upon this. So shout out, Slap.
The Slap Shoes, Black Flags Matter. He's amazing as well. The Iceberg, David Lands, all those guys are amazing.
Brock Beard, yeah, got me back interested in NASCAR again.
Back to Raw, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler is a thing because it's a thing.
Nia Jax is the worst wrestler in the women's division.
I can't agree more about that. It's just like she causes injuries to a lot of people, and it's like, dude, just what's going on?
Yeah.
And not for my favorite part right here that we were talking about. The man they call Aleister Black. What the fuck are you guys doing?
he wasn't even really on Raw, was he? I mean,
He was.
he
He got
was.
attacked by Murphy and he lost his eye because why is
Oh yeah, I
taking
forgot
out
about
an eye
that.
a
That's how
thing?
like shitty.
Okay, so here's what I read from I think it was Wrestle Talk, and I heard that they're taking him off of Raw not because he's injured or because they're trying to play for an
I'm
injured
letting you.
storyline.
I'm gonna let Easy rant while I see what the auction's gonna be on High
Yeah.
Spots. So I'm just gonna let you rant. I'm gonna be paying attention, but I'm
No,
also
no,
double
you're good.
dipping.
Now, okay, starting from the top again. Aleister Black is he's not going off of TV because he's injured or they're playing an injury angle. No, from what I've heard, it's because they literally don't have anything to do with him anymore. Like they literally can't think of anything for him. So I'm like, what are you guys doing then? You initially brought him in with Ricochet,
Oh,
and
we got Ray in the
I don't
house.
even know where the hell
SCU
Ricochet
Ray.
is these days. So why not just either put him back to NXT or figure out what the hell to do with him, or in my opinion, just release him. Honestly, if you don't have anything to do with him, then just let him go.
Yeah,
And I'm not even trying to pull the whole I want him on AEW. It's
but
like,
here's
well,
the.
A, that's what 2021 is for, but B, not yet. But just
Yeah,
do
I get what you're
something with
saying, but I
him.
mean, like, I'm gonna play. I don't. I'm on your side, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate just a little bit. I can see from a business perspective, may not say from a moral perspective, but from a business perspective, going, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna release him because he will go somewhere else. So I'm gonna hold on to him, and then
He was the poster boy for NXT for a long time. And everyone got so freaking hyped up when he joined NXT. I would say if he stayed on WWE, send him back to NXT. Could you actually imagine a great rivalry between Alistair and Keith freaking Lee?
I agree with you, but you know,
They don't have anything in for Raw. I just put him to NXT. That's it. And that'll be my golden rule. If you're giving up someone on your Raw or SmackDown, put them to NXT. Because they're making their own thing, and I know that Triple H, he will probably put so much good use into him.
let me play
You
devil's
know,
advocate again, though. Not that I'm saying I would.
nice.
Not saying that I would dislike that at all. But what I'm saying is just food for thought. Okay, they're trying to bring up some new talent in NXT and let some of these new guys that they've signed and have been trained in the Performance Center let them shine. How do you think it would feel for one of those guys to go, all right, finally going to get my opportunity, and then, oh, hey, wait, we got like 3 guys from the main roster coming back down, so we're just going to keep you right back where you're at.
Or maybe team up with Karrion Kross?
Again, you just.
No, let Karrion obviously hold the realms if he wins the NXT championship. Just have Aleister Black come in because come on, a villain Black would be amazing.
I'm with you.
I don't know. I never honestly.
I'm with you, but I'm just making sure, unlike other shows out there, let's cover all angles and let's maybe kind of get some other sides and some other perspective in there before we just make it seem as that like it's as easy as we think it is.
Whatever. But
so Aleister Black needs to go back to NXT, in your opinion. I just thinking they need to find something for him on the main roster. Quit fucking.
Did I forget to mention that they're thinking about
send him to Smack for me rather than say there's nothing for him on Raw. Send him to fucking SmackDown and let him and AJ go at it. That's my idea.
They also might rebrand him a little. I don't know. From what I've heard, they might just give him a new character shtick or something. I'm like, guys, no. Just no. Leave him the way he is. I don't want him dressed up in a goofy sweater presenting a children's show with puppets.
That was the best thing that ever happened to Bray Wyatt. That was the best thing that ever happened to Bray Wyatt, and you shut your mouth.
I'm sorry, the Firefly fight I was saying just it
was
me.
awesome. It
I
was
legit
awesome.
thought,
It was weird at first, but then like when it started getting more creepy, you're like, holy shit, this is creepy and awesome. I
yeah, it gets
love it.
creepy, but I don't know. I'm still the 1% of people who are like, yeah, when Firefly Funhouse comes on, it's like, yeah, it looks funny, but it's not Bray Wyatt. It really isn't.
It's better than Bray Wyatt doing the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend was
I like the Fiends. That don't get me wrong. I love the
doing both of
Fiends.
them is like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. Better than Wyatt Family Bray, and y'all can come at me. Come on, right here. Facebook.com/AthleticGeek89, Twitter @Athletic_Geek89, and Instagram @AthleticGeek89. Bring the hate.
Actually, for a while, I thought him as the Eater of Worlds is like, really, WWE, you're going for a cult thing? You guys tried that how many times with one in particular, the Ministry of Darkness?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Wyatt family. I just like the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend, the whole build up to all that. I love that all more. I thought it was great. Like, at first, I was kind of like, what the fuck is this? I didn't like it, but then when I gave it a chance, I loved it.
Well, anyways.
So next is NXT. Let's go to NXT.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, with the whole McIntyre, just Dolph Ziggler, like, nope, skip, don't care. The past is past, it happened. Okay, NXT, so a bunch of things happened. There was a women's champion, Io Shirai, Tegan Nox against Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae.
Okay.
Am I the only one that's just, I don't know, I heard Johnny Gargano's new theme, and I'm like, okay.
I'm not a big fan of Bad Guy Johnny and Bad Guy Candice.
No,
they fucked up ending the Ciampa feud. Like, that's, to me, like,
is Ciampa injured or something?
I don't know, but I don't feel I don't feel like ever since NXT, you know, I'll give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. There is a pandemic, but ever since NXT kind of went, like, botched that ending to that program, in my opinion, it's been just like, like, there's just been something missing. It's like, kind of, you could say the bloom's off the rose, but, you know, it's just kind of in its,
Well, they went up on ratings today with like 707K, but they still fell short to AEW. But
right.
I don't know. Bad Guy Gargano's like, no, I just can't. Especially if he's having he had a fight with Roderick Strong. He's like, hold up, why don't you have two villains fight each other? I thought that Undisputed, they're always the anti-heroes.
Right.
So there was that. Keith Lee responding to Karrion Kross because has Karrion even fought yet, or is he just making these weird vignettes of himself?
Apropos of nothing, Sex Ferguson has just showed up on the High Spots virtual gimmick table.
Who just showed up?
Sex Ferguson.
Are
you not aware of Sex Ferguson? Have you not seen Southpaw Regional Wrestling?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you.
I don't have the network anymore. They're not worth $9.99.
It's on YouTube.
Oh.
And
they're not worth my 0.00. I don't know.
I'm not the biggest WWE fan, but it's worth my $9.99, and you can claim I'm betraying some sort of cause or whatever, but it's worth my $9.99 to be able to go watch literally any old WCW or ECW or anything else.
But anyways, and now speaking about Keith Lee, I'm gonna probably get hate for this. I don't know if I really see him as championship material yet.
For NXT, I think he is championship material.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he is the best guy in NXT.
This could be me as a butthurt Undisputed Era fan who thought, no, the entire era needs to own the NXT, all the NXT
Ah, see, there you go,
championships.
Miss Ace in the crowd.
But I'm not. I just think maybe there could have been somebody else.
Who? So
Well,
somebody
Alistair
else.
Black. I'm kidding, no. I don't know. I honestly could have set up the Adam Cole Karrion Kross first.
Karrion Kross ain't ready.
Well, we'll see, because
Karrion Kross ain't ready.
he wants to fight with Keith Lee, but
I mean, I think Keith Lee was the most popular guy in NXT. He's had the best matches in NXT all year. I mean,
I'll get me wrong. And even I'll admit, when I heard like he won the NXT Championship, I'm like, okay, that's honestly amazing. Like, congrats, man.
but I feel like it was. You can either strike while the iron is hot, or you can wait and screw around so nobody will care. And I feel like they struck while the iron was hot. You know, sometimes you got to do that. Adam Cole had done everything there was to do as champion. Like he'd had it for over a year. He'd beat.
God forbid they put Undisputed Era in the main roster.
That's
never happening. No.
Well, I mean,
NXT wants their ratings, and the Undisputed Era is going to stay.
No. Why are you apologizing for, Miss Ace?
Who's apologizing?
In the live chat on the thing.
Oh, I haven't even seen the live chat. I don't even know how to look.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like Keith Lee is the best bet, but it just I can't think of anyone else in NXT right now worthy of holding that title, and I mean that sincerely. You could say, oh, bad guy Gargano, but no. Ciampa, kind of a been there, done that. Adam Cole, done everything. And I feel that Keith Lee is better than the rest of the Undisputed Era. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but admit I admit I laughed so hard when I just see him launch Adam Cole into the crowd. Like, oh, God. So I'm like, okay, hang on. If Keith Lee can launch Adam Cole into the NXT universe, why the hell did he get beat so badly by Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble? Like, are you kidding me?
He didn't get beat badly. He was the first to actually give a threat to Brock Lesnar. That was, well done.
Okay. Well, when I mean beat badly, I mean, he gets eliminated in, under a minute. And I'm like, wow. And all it had to take was a low blow from Ricochet for McIntyre to claim or kick him out of the universe.
No, that was actually good. That was a good way of doing things because nobody else had a chance against Brock Lesnar. The first person to put Brock Lesnar in jeopardy was a guy who, for all intents and purposes, because remember at this time, NXT did not have TV. It just had the network. It didn't have national TV for everybody to seek out. So they see an NXT guy come this close to eliminating Brock Lesnar, even though
NXT was on TV when the Rumble was on.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Still, an NXT guy coming that close to beating the WWE champion, even if he did get eliminated, that's the proverbial rub on Keith Lee.
One day there's going to be an NXT guy that wins the Royal Rumble.
I think
not named Asuka.
I feel that I'm not no fucking dumbass Southern atheist with a tennis racket, but I do feel a lot of today's fans don't see. I feel like they don't. A lot of them get consumed with, the result and who's the champion, and they don't realize that sometimes you get more popular coming close than winning.
True.
So Keith Lee just coming close to eliminating Brock Lesnar is a good thing because there also may be more to that story.
True.
What happens next year? What happens if they face off in the Royal Rumble
I was
next
gonna
year?
say I'm gonna mark my words on this day right here, 2021 Royal Rumble. If there is gonna be an NXT winner, it will be
Be a Keith
probably
Lee.
Keith Lee or maybe Finn Balor. I said maybe, not a guarantee. I said a maybe.
Yeah.
Because it would definitely make up for the shit performance, or basically just let's just face it, just the shit he was given on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. So, anything else on NXT worth talking about?
Some guy named Bronson Reed is coming. There's, no, not really. Just.
All right. So now it's time to bring the boom. Dynamite.
No. All
So-
right, so we had some debuts
And
some shots, and it's like, where do you want to begin?
we're gonna have some debuts, and I have a feeling this is where you and I are really gonna fight.
Oh boy.
So, first of all, I do want to say this. You want to talk about being proud of somebody from my area? Well, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Take us from the top.
So, I was still at work, but I was trying to keep track of what was going on. But the end of the tag team championship between Dark Order and the dysfunctional relationship between Kenny Omega and the real life Red Dead Redemption Hangman Adam Page. I'm sorry, he is. So they win, and then a confused Cole Cabana and Anna Jay, because why is she part of the Dark Order again?
Hey, I don't mind it because they need female. They need female representation in the Dark Order. I think that's a good idea.
They could have had Allie. She was the bunny.
Keep letting her do her thing with them.
Anyways.
Allie was doing her thing with as the bunny.
Obviously mad. Does the whole paper thing because I can't help but laugh so hard. Like, just taking a bunch of paper and just smacks him in the head. And yeah, Dark Order come great.
Oh, we got a message in the chat.
Huh?
So the wrestling. So the wrestling. Bikini got Rusev banned from Twitch, right? So mirror to AEW. Well, we're gonna get involved in that when we get to another debut that happened. We're gonna talk about that.
But yeah, anyways, Dark Order started getting up on the Elite, but then they're saved by FTR. I'm like, well then. But so I don't know, just like seeing FTR team up with the Elite, it's like, okay, well they're definitely building something here. Because we know at some point the Bucks or FTR, one of them's gonna crack.
Oh yeah, well,
it'll be insane.
And they had the contract signing with FTR for AEW, and lo and behold, who shows up? But Arn Anderson.
Tully. Sorry, not Tully. Arn.
The fuck?
Dude, it's been a long day.
So Arn shows up, and so does Hangman, and then we keep seeing sometimes these four gestures, and I believe Arn Anderson owns the rights to the name Four Horsemen. Keep letting the speculation fly, but with tension between, if you're watching Being the Elite, the continued tension between,
Just give me the cleaner back, please. I miss Cleaner Kenny.
I don't really give two fucks about Cleaner Kenny right now. I'm more interested in when, what the long-term storytelling they've been doing with Hangman and the Bucks. I like the Cleaner Kenny just as much as the next guy. I'm a Kenny Omega fan, but to me, the best storyline they've been doing, and it's been going on since the beginning of AEW, is kind of Hangman's sort of What does he do? Does he stay part of the elite? You know, and it all dates back to when he. And it all dates back to if you remember this, on BTE, he asked the Bucks if they would accompany him to ringside like they used to for Kenny, and at All Out, and the Bucks said no because we got that ladder match. So ever since then, he's been kind of distant with the elite, and every time he's tried to distance himself, he gets pulled back in. Now he's tag team champions. And no matter how much he proves himself worthy of it by beating the Bucks in that epic match, by, you know, all the things he did to help Kenny and all this, that, and the other, he's still not taken seriously by the Bucks. So he's got drinking buddies like FTR, and you got Cody, whose coach is coaching FTR, got in the ear of FTR, and as it's been seen in the past, Cody and Kenny don't always see eye to eye. So I think the inevitable split within the elite is, I don't know which way they're going to go with it, but that trumps Cleaner. I mean, it could be the Cleaner. We could see Cowboy Shit still be the good guy, and we could have bad guy Cleaner Kenny. I don't know, but there's like,
I would have that, honestly, in my opinion.
We'll have to see. The thing about the Cleaner character, and I think a lot of people forget this, is the Cleaner character was Kenny betraying himself. See, a lot of people, that was their first exposure to Kenny, so they like it. But the character of the Cleaner was Kenny being so jealous of Ibushi's single success that Kenny betrayed his own morals to join the Bullet Club. And then he finally quit being the Cleaner and won the IWGP title. He remembered who he was again, and that's how he finally beat Okada.
Remember who you are.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hello? I think we lost some signal there. Are you there? We're going to call Easy back in.
You just cut off.
Yeah, well, you cut off for me, so I had to recall you. This happened to me in a podcast taping yesterday, too, so I guess it's just kind of part of it. So, yeah, it's kind of... So I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's just there's so many different things that can just spurn off of this. That's why I'm pretty much intrigued. But, I'm trying to imagine a stable of Cody, FTR, and Hangman managed by Arn Anderson. And Cody's the TNT champion, and Hangman's the world champion, and the tag champs are FTR.
Well, as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, I was going to say, don't, American promotions have a thing, they like to put Canadians as the bad guys, oh, you damn dirty Canadians, and your healthcare, and your niceness, and your hockey, and your dumb winters, and your world leaders that are smarter than our world leaders. We envy you.
I'm no Trump supporter, but speak for you're not speaking for me on that one, but it's
No, just everyone in general. No, I'm not out of politics.
You know what? The one you mentioned that the one thing that I think is good about AEW is they aren't bringing in a bunch of freaking nationalistic storylines.
Thank God.
There isn't any blank forever, this never, which is kind of nice right now. They aren't making bad guys out of foreigners. They aren't making bad guys out of Americans, except for MJF. President MJF. Well, we're not to that yet.
Okay, not yet.
We got to talk about one guy that I'm not bored by that wrestles in this area. Warhorse wrestles Cody. And
God,
God damn, I was proud to see that happen. He's worked really hard. I thought he had a really good match um, with Cody. Probably wasn't Cody's best match. I liked since they've done this. I thought the Kingston match and the Sunny Kiss match were better. But
I hope Kingston stays on AEW. Like, come on. That guy's had
well,
a hell of a career.
well, I do want Kingston to be there, but they have debuted somebody else, and Matt Cardova, FKA Zack Ryder, debuted. Don't get me wrong, I like him, but we're kind of at the point now where I don't think AEW is like this. But when somebody who hates on AEW says, "Oh, you're signing a bunch of WWE cast-offs," they kind of have a point.
But it's also WWE has signed a bunch of indie cast-offs, so yeah.
I wouldn't say they're indie cast-offs that
Well,
really, but
like they started on the indie circuit because obviously I don't think one WWE is like looking for random people and be like, "Hey, you look amazing. You want to work for WWE?" Not everyone can be like John Cena, where it's like, let's face it, has he ever appeared on the indie circuits?
he wrestled for UPW, same place
Yeah.
Kazarian and Samoa Joe got their start in.
I mean, that Carney guy that had like one match and then he disappeared.
I said
Or
Kazarian.
oh,
Kazarian.
sorry. I was thinking of somebody else. Kazarni or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I know Kazarian, but I don't know if he was in UPW. But I know that
I don't know.
Samoa Joe and
I misheard
Frankie
you. Sorry.
Kazarian was. Hey,
Yeah.
you misheard me.
I misheard you.
Were you a little hard of hearing?
No.
Did you not? Did you not hear me correctly?
Did
Yeah.
I actually kind of miss Southern Kazarian. Like, oh, God darn it, like, Matt Hardy, you gave me that spell. And I'm just like, I'm a Southern man.
But here's what I'm saying.
That's freaking awesome.
And this was brought up earlier today on a Facebook post. You know, everybody was talking about how AEW was going to make Shawn Spears a star. And now that he no longer has the shackles of WWE and he's going and being put in a storyline with Cody and he's got a big match, best match on All Out Car and even better than the ladder match. And again, you can send your hate mail at athletic_geek89 on Twitter. Much better than the ladder match. But what have they done with Shawn Spears? Nothing. And I understand there was an abundance of talent. There's a lot of people that they didn't expect to get as popular as they did that have gotten popular. You got to go with what's making money. I'm not faulting AEW in the slightest for having to give Shawn Spears a back seat. What I am saying is they're already getting to the point where they have talent they don't know what to do with. And now they've just signed another guy from the WWE. How many more guys are they going to sign and be like, oh, let's do something, you know? Oh, you're getting shoved back down the card, you know. There's, you know, because I know Masace in the.
I was gonna say, wasn't he having some matches on Dark? But I'm like looking at the Dark results, I was like, actually no.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Masace says, you know, about Miro, aka Rusev, going to AEW. I don't want him in AEW. Not so much because I don't want him to shine or don't think that he'd have a good role there, but I mean, like right now, they're already getting kind of to the point now where they have a lot of guys on the roster not doing a whole heck of a lot. So you might want to kind of scale back on that just a little bit. To me, Rusev's calling is New Japan. That's where he would excel
Definitely.
the best. But on the
another comment on, I like what AEW is doing. They're teasing Cleaner Kenny from earlier. good thing comes to those who wait. It's like,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But
I
it's kind
think
of, to me,
definitely.
like I'm okay with a lot of signings. I was okay with, you know, Ricky Starks getting signed because he was a good young up and comer they can develop. I'm okay with Brian Cage getting signed. He's a jet guy that can move, and AEW needs more big guys. I was okay with Brody Lee because he kind of fits in the role as the leader of the Dark Order. I was okay with Colt Cabana because you kind of need, he fills a role. You kind of need more of a lighthearted guy, even though he's in a very serious storyline right now, a lighthearted guy. To me, Zack Ryder, Matt Cardova, I love the guy, and he did get fucked by the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
what is there? What does Matt Cardova bring to the table that a lot of these other guys that you have signed can't do? I sincerely ask that. I don't dislike the signing. I want to see him do well. He's a good guy. He's a great talent. I was part of the Ryder Revolution in 2011. I like the guy, but I can also see where the critics have a point with this one.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like maybe they're just like they're signing them so that way like there's people that could still have jobs during this pandemic. So I'm like maybe, but I don't know what they're going with on this.
That's noble, but there's going to come a time where then you're going to have,
or who knows? Maybe they're really trying to build Dark onto a separate show so they can be like, okay, you guys are going to be on Dynamite, you guys are going to be on Dark.
There's
something I don't know.
There still comes a time where you gotta quit because I'm sure these guys they're signing aren't getting signed for pennies on the dollar. They're getting signed to big contracts, and there's gonna come a time where that's noble. But right now, you don't have a live event attendance that's gonna help you. So there comes a time where you might have to, unfortunately, either tell some people not right now. Or unfortunately, you also may have to go, hey, based on the amount of money we're paying you and based on the amount of revenue we're generating and based on what we can do with you, we got to let you go.
I feel like maybe some of them are going to maybe jump ship to Ring of Honor. Maybe they're just like on AEW for the time being, and then when things are like slowly and surely getting back to normal, they might just jump ship over to Ring of Honor or Impact.
I don't know how Brody Lee would be all right in Japan, but I am on board with you, Miss Ace, on Miro versus Ishii and Suzuki. Yano, I'm not really big on the Yano train, but yeah. I just, like I said, I don't hate this. I'm not. Everybody has their hill to die on as far as like an argument, and I'm not. This isn't my hill to die on, but looking at this from a critical perspective, I'm not sure about this one. I mean,
we'll see.
There's, if you said bring in Matt Cardova or Eddie Kingston, I'd rather have Eddie Kingston. If you said bring in Matt Cardova or,
Warhorse.
Warhorse may not ride out the gate. Even as much as I'm proud and love Warhorse, he might.
Doesn't Cardova have his own like little YouTube?
Yeah, he does. It's great. It's about action figures. I love it. I watch it all the time. I'm just saying that.
Oh, maybe they brought him for the YouTube merch. Maybe they'll use him for BTE, for all I know.
Yeah, there's just so many.
I know.
There's so many guys that I'm like, like your Shawn Spears. It's like they haven't done anything with except for a few things here and there, and now you're signing more guys. Eventually, something's got to give, and they got to quit signing people as much as. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying there, Miss Ace. But it's kind of. This is what I'm not going to say I dislike the signing, but I'm not really pumped up about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I freaked out like hearing that Omega Cordova was on AEW, but it's like if you got a plan for him, cool.
Hmm.
It's we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
And especially at least
Hopefully, you can make me feel better. Like, I'm not saying you got to cater just to me, but if you can end up with the way I feel right now, make me feel better about the signing and make me really buy into it, and give me something that is really good, I'm fine with it.
at least it's the superstars that are saying like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do together," not stupid people writing storylines for these guys. Because again, AEW's got the win on creative freedom. That's what I like.
I like that too. The other thing you got to watch is you sign all these guys. Who's going to be the guy going? When are they gonna? How is AEW going to react when they get their Hulk Hogan to go? That don't work for me, brother.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But anyways,
That's going to be a
all
judge of their
um,
character. Yeah.
Let's see, Jericho. I can't say this without laughing. Jericho and Orange Cassidy are okay. Yay, we're getting a
They're go-
rematch, but
They're going to have a
before that,
debate.
a freaking debate. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a freaking debate on wrestling than Jericho and Cassidy.
Absolutely.
At first I thought this storyline between Cassidy and Turner was like, okay, it's gonna be like fun for the laughs, and it's just be a one-off thing. That's it. But the fact they're pushing this more and more, it's like it's just making me just love this even more. Like, what is happening?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, like, honestly, I think, and you're gonna finally mark out because you've been on this, you've been like riding this guy since before AEW even like fully began. There are three guys now that I think, you know, homegrown guys that really got their big exposure in AEW that I feel could be world champion the next 2 years. One is MJF, the other, well, first is Hangman because he's probably one of the most, other than Cody, the most popular guy in the company. Second is MJF, the best bad guy in wrestling. And third is Orange Cassidy. If Orange Cassidy were to ever win the world title, I could see it. Like, before the Jericho program, I couldn't take it seriously. Now, yes.
That'll put a lot of butts in the seats.
Well, you can only have up to 10 of them now in Florida, so it'll bring all 10 in.
Oh, God. Like, if Orange Cassidy wins, I think that's probably going to have a louder reaction than when Cody won at All In.
No. No, it won't. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Fine.
But
I would have freaked out if Cassidy had beaten Pac at Revolution, but that was still a great match.
It was awesome. That was when I think a lot of people realized how good Orange Cassidy really is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to have the debates. And what else happened on Dynamite?
Well, I'm going to save the best for last, but
let's talk about MJF now because
I was going to save him for last.
No, we got to talk about the main event last.
Fine, okay. MJF with probably the promo of 2020. Jesus freaking Jesus.
He's pretty well made it known that he's doing the.
Here, no,
let's not because copyright claim.
For audio, really? Okay.
Again, fine,
yes. Fine. Okay, but here, I'll have the subtitles on then. Let's see.
Pretty much hashtag not my champion John Moxley.
All the knowledge, like a 5-year-old being fed mac and cheese. And, okay, honey, I'll read off the script. Can you do the world a favor and give me a small smile? Okay, anyways. But he was basically just going off saying, like, we deserve better champions. And I'm actually kind of more amazed he wasn't. Oh, he was going after Moxley because, we need a Moxley MJF match one day. But I'm also amazed where he didn't say, he wasn't calling out to Cody or the Elite and be like, they're champions because they run this company, so where am I at this and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but either way, just him, like, talking, it's like, okay, there's a reason
one of our champion, in our chat, we have the debate's going to be hilarious. Jericho, detail reason why he's opposed to it. Orange Cassidy, shrugs.
Shrugs. It's like, you goddamn fool! How dare you disagree with me about that?
It's going to be amazing.
I'm always just amazed. How does Jericho just keep a straight face, knowing that he's freaking out over a guy who just does nothing, and he'll be like freaking out, be like, "Are you saying that about me?" or blah blah blah, whatever. But anyways, back to promo of the year. Just MJF, he's.
It was like it was a great how they worked all the topical humor in there. It was great. He was a douchebag asking the girl to smile, using the not my champion,
not my champion, but
like the not my president people that were all pissed off about that. That was great. And it pretty much confirms that we're gonna have Moxley versus MJF at All Out.
If we did have a crowd, you know for a fact that I think more people would be cheering MJF than booing at him if we had crowds.
See, if we had the crowd though, and they cheered, he would do something to boo them, because if MJF gets cheered, he's failing at his job.
True.
MJF isn't a shade of gray. MJF is a bad guy, and if you get cheered as a bad guy, you are not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And MJF is smart enough to know that.
You definitely want to take this guy seriously when he flipped off a 6-year-old, and apparently news media were like, "Why? Oh my God, this wrestler just like made this flip the bird to this little kid." Be like, "That's who he freaking is." And again, parents, if you are listening to this, which I really hope you are, there's a reason we do not want your children. We want your children to watch AEW, but we do not want your children to be next to MJF.
No.
Yeah, they say don't meet your heroes. But it's like, no, in this case, don't meet MJF if you don't know he's going to be in character all the time. It's like trying to talk with someone who's dressed up as Batman, but you're trying to talk to the guy who's playing Batman. Not Bruce Wayne, just the guy playing the costume. You're like, no, just don't do that.
Kids should talk to Batman. Batman should be safe.
I was just thinking of a random superhero, but anyways.
Yeah.
Just MJF, just imagine how nuts this guy will be when he's champion.
Well, let's slow down there, and
2021, MJF 2021.
I'd say 2022. I feel like Kenny and Hangman need to be champion before MJF.
Kenny Hangman Revolution 2021?
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
There we go.
But I feel like they need to be champion before MJF. But I feel like, now is kind of, if anybody can finally beat MJF to a bloody pulp and give him a loss and it be satisfying, it is Moxley.
It'd be Moxley, yeah.
And speaking of Jon Moxley.
I was going to say Moxley, I was going to say Cody, but actually Moxley, no, why not? I just can't wait for what promo skills Moxley might have for MJF.
Oh yeah, that's going to be great. But so we have a very, very brutal tornado tag team match. First time I've ever heard tornado tag team match since I played Warzone as a kid, so this was great. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks.
First time I heard tornado tag team since SmackDown vs. Raw 2010.
Yeah. So Ricky Starks and
the
Brian
FCW
Cage.
World Champion, by the way.
Yeah. Versus Darby Allin, back from injury, and Jon Moxley. Darby Allin is... Goddamn, he's good.
He's basically this generation's Mick Foley.
To a point, yeah. Well, yeah, I'd say that, but I mean, and this is with all respect and love to Mick Foley, he's one of my all-time favorites. Darby's actually, in better shape to where he doesn't always need the craziness. Look no further than the Fyter Fest match with Cody. He didn't need a lot of hardcore brawling where Foley kind of leaned on some, big, ridiculous, hard bumps. Darby doesn't need that quite as much.
Can you imagine if ECW was still around and Darby Allin being on there would be like, Jesus freaking Christ, everyone would be like, how is this kid not dead yet?
Oh, I'm with you on that. But yeah, I thought this was a great match. I'm growing a little concerned at how many times Cage and Starks have lost, but I'm hoping that that just leads to, I feel like Taz is doing a good job, doing like the J.J. Dillon role, putting his own spin on it to where they can still kind of, you know, keep their relevancy as top bad guys.
Yeah. Now, as for Darby, definitely a champion in 2022.
I think Darby may be the one to beat Cody
I would think so,
for the
actually.
TNT title.
Yeah. And especially just like, come on, like just give Darby like a title. It's like, come on, or you know what? Challenge Bryan for the FTW champion. I know it's Taz's little thing here, but like,
I can see that happening.
I
But
would
here's
love
the
that.
thing, give Darby the title. Let's say the more and more, like, as long as if you keep having Cody have close calls but come out on the other end and keep building up Darby, when they eventually meet at, say, Revolution or Full Gear, or maybe All Out, probably more so Full Gear or Revolution, it's going to be that much bigger of a deal.
Yeah.
Patience, young one.
Okay.
It's going to happen. You just got to let everything progress.
Yeah, especially with this nightmare we're living with, we all gotta be patient.
Oh yeah. And I believe that is AEW this week. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. Thanks to EZ. I'll let you get your plugs in.
Well, since I am part of the Elite Era, what did you personally think about AEW? Was it all the bubbly, good on the bubbly, flat on the bubbly, or refund my bubbly?
I chose good.
You chose good?
I chose good on the bubbly. To me, it's kind of like, I don't want to say, every time I vote in your poll, I usually, unless it was like a real big, like, fucking holy shit show, I don't choose all the bubbly because I feel like if you do that all the time, it kind of takes away from when it really is a great show. I went
had a tie between all and good. I forget when, but it's always been all the bubbly.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that just they don't look at they love the AEW, which is great. I love AEW. I've gone on record saying if AEW goes away, I may be done with wrestling in America. But
yeah, Elite Era, I would just shut down my YouTube.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is, sometimes, kind of, and let it, to me, I save my all of the bubbly for when it's. I believe I voted all the bubbly last week. That was the 2 weeks ago. Whenever they had Mox and Cage. That's when I did my all of the bubbly, and there's I think it was also the Sunny Kiss and Cody match. That's when I did it because I thought that was actually just such a phenomenal show that it deserved that as a rating.
Yeah.
I think Crazy Cleaner Kenny Omega will be the one. I can see that happening. The way I would do, if I was the one writing the storyline right now, I would have Kenny beat Moxley in just a straight up wrestling match because their first match was unsanctioned. Have a straight up wrestling match with Kenny winning, and then you could do a cage or a ladder match where they kind of fit into both their skills as their rubber match. But I believe Kenny should lose that belt to Hangman Page after he beats Moxley. That's answering a chat, but
I just thought of something. Like, if there was a moment in time where you see this on AEW and you just immediately just change the channel and be like, nope, that you're just jumping the shark now. What moment do you think it would be? I just thought of something where it's Cody's doing the TNT Open Challenge thing, and out comes Enzo Amore.
Yep, that would be it.
Just imagine that.
they
I
single-handedly
saw
made no one give a shit about Madison Square Garden and Ring of Honor.
I saw, there was someone on Twitter was like, "What superstar should Cody defend his TNT title next?" And I thought, how about what superstar should he not fight for the TNT title?
Enzo Amore or any of the
Cass, I would give a chance to because he's actually trying to rebound his life.
any accused wrestler or Enzo Amore, and that'll be how we end it. So
There we go. Yep.
social media.
All right, people. I'm currently on hiatus right now because this pandemic is just taking too much on me, so I'm not doing much like videos or anything. But I am still very, very, very active on social media on Twitter level. Follow me at the Elite Era, and also check out my buddies at TWE, Twit Wrestling Extreme. They're amazing people. It's just our Twitter wrestling stuff. Go check them out. Tell them the Elite Era sent you. And if you're not really a wrestling fan, but you just happen to stumble upon this, just follow me on regular Twitter then. But I hear that Eric guy's a weirdo anyway. But anyways, just follow the Elite Era. I'm always up for chats, and especially follow my buddy the Geek. I can't believe just like it feels like yesterday that we met at All In,
and that's 2 years ago. Coming up on 2 years.
It is still, my opinion, like hands down the best wrestling show I've ever gone to. Even way better than Revolution. That just started everything.
The most magical show ever. Yeah. And that is it for us this week. Thank you for watching.
I realized our friendship has lasted longer than StarCast.
And on that note, we're going to go out on that one. That's a good one. Oh, the Clusterfuck, the Love StarCast. But if you enjoyed this video, please give a like, share, subscribe for more content. Got some comic book stuff coming on the horizon. I'm really proud of the Geeking Out podcast. Got a really big one coming up this next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. But if you enjoyed this, please give a like, share. Like I said, subscribe. And as I said, for the hate mail. But if you don't want to hate me, follow me on my social media pages, Facebook.com/AthleticGeek89, Twitter @Athletic_Geek89, Instagram @AthleticGeek89. Hopefully I'll have some good mail instead of just a bunch of angry young bucks and Wyatt family fans. But for EZ of the Elite Era Network, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just two marks, and we're out. Have a good one.
That StarCast thing,